Suddenly, one day, I wake up and I realize something. As crazy as it might sound to some, I came to the shocking realization that I'd lived my life almost entirely under European control and influence. It's mind-blowing to wake up and realize just how little control we as African Americans have had in the grand scheme of American life. It felt like a switch had been flipped and it became crystal clear. A blinding flash of the obvious had struck me. I was born in a land conquered and ruled by Europeans. I was born into a society with systems in place designed by Europeans, for the benefit of Europeans. Obviously, with that being the case, serious problems were inevitable for a people who had only known the cruel and humiliating life of slavery. They were let loose on the Europeanized American landscape, without the proverbial pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Not to mention the fact that the European idea of freedom for Africans was entirely different from the African point of view. When you look honestly at the contradictions baked into early American society, it's easy to see that something was deeply off in the worldview of the people who shaped it. How else do you explain the methods they employed to inhabit this land? A land, lest you've forgotten, that was already inhabited. To be robbed of one's culture, language, and everything having to do with who you really are, well, that's a problem with far-reaching consequences. How could assimilation into a culture unwilling to acknowledge your value as a human being not be a problem? It's a realization that requires intelligent, concentrated, and critical thought to not be overcome by anger. However, it can also be a bit of an emotional minefield. I mean, how could it not be? I tend to believe we, as citizens of the world, have been fed massive amounts of misinformation for a very long time. Most of us were completely unaware of the lies we were consuming and accepting as the undeniable truth. There's a saying that declares, whoever controls the printed page controls the thinking of the age. With the arrival of the internet, we now have access to more information than we've ever had before. Information that seeks to influence our thinking, make no mistake about it. Fake news is a real thing. The world has been bombarded with an explosion of available information for all to read, hear, and see. Protect your mind like it's under attack. Question everything. And don't let anyone's lazy or reckless information hijack your thinking. Don't be afraid to think outside the proverbial box of colonized thinking. Choose to be a revolutionary. Live up. Live free.